The idea of going to a botanical garden in late fall or early winter may seem kind of ridiculous, unless you're headed to Huntsville, Alabama. You see, their botanical garden is blooming with all sorts of holiday cheer this time of year. And Rob Wiles discovered, well, it brightens the holiday for countless visitors.
My Aunt Mary used to love Christmas time. She'd get the family all in the car and we'd go driving around town on what she called her twinkle tour, looking at the neighbors' Christmas lights. I'm just sorry Aunt Mary's passed on to the big light display in the sky, because she would love the twinkle tour here at the Huntsville Botanical Garden.
We had 23,000 cars come through last year, which is roughly 125,000 people. Half of our visitation comes during this time of the year.
What Harvey Cotton, the chief operating officer of the Huntsville Botanical Garden, is talking about that attracts such a big crowd is the galaxy of lights. And I do mean galaxy of lights.
We say millions. I don't know that we've counted each one now. Numbers of pieces, easily into 300 or 400 individual pieces. I think it's over 120 displays, as we call them, and each display may have several pieces to it. And then the difference being with rope light, that's a little different than the little twinkle light. So it's kind of hard to say. I know my electric bill's fairly high. We can probably look at it as kilowatt hours, maybe more than numbers of lights.
Lights that are a bit different each year.
We try to add something new every single year. I think that's been our success, in that we don't want anybody who drives through to say, well, that's just what I saw last year. So every year that we've been open, we've been able to add new exhibits or add new pieces to them, maybe move them around in the garden to where they're in different locations to give a different feel. This year we're very excited. We've added a half-mile loop to the south end of the garden, which will be the first time that that's been open. So it's allowed us to put in 3 new display areas that we haven't had previously.
Each display, each light, carefully crafted by the garden's volunteers.
At least every night, and we're open 45 nights, we'll have between 14 to 20 volunteers out here a night. Now we have a group of guys we call the Galaxy Guys, and I shouldn't just say guys because there are women also with them, that work, there are about 18 of them, and they work 12 months out of the year to make sure Galaxy of Lights goes on, because there are lots of fabricating that we do, refurbishing of exhibits, new designs, and new activities that go on.
Uh-oh. Don't worry about that little uh-oh. Volunteer Nick Mangus knows how to get the lights back on. He's a retired engineer and one of the Galaxy Guys who work so hard on this project every year.
I see what it is. We start by having theme areas, and then within the theme areas we decide on what scenes we'd like to put up. We want to tell a story. So once you've decided what story you want to tell, you now do a little research. For instance, in the botanical area, this is a botanical garden, I had to research every flower out there to make sure that it was correct, because we got 6,000 botanical critics who are members of this garden. And if I didn't get it right, then I would hear about it. You'll also notice some other themes out here that had to be technically correct, which we had to research. Once you get that done, then the artwork comes. I make sketches, we review them. If they look good, we blow them up to full scale and print them on paper. Turn that over to a welder who builds us a frame. That comes back to our guys, and they put lights on it, animate it, and put it out for display.
Making the displays different each year, and the Galaxy's been going on for a decade, puts people like Nick to the test.
You'll see a whole group of snowmen out there. We call them the headache snowman, a juggling snowman, an exploding snowman, a melting snowman. I designed those. We built them locally with local welders, and the guys on my crew put lights on them. I think those are the ones that I did recently and am fond of.
Oh, there are many sights to be fond of. Sparkling reminders of the season, mostly. Okay, I'm not sure a red elephant is associated with Christmas, but, I mean, this is Alabama after all. But putting that aside, the Galaxy gets great reviews from the critics who count most.
Did you like the light?
I like the lights.
Like them, you bet. The Galaxy of Lights here at the Huntsville Botanical Garden most definitely puts you in the mood to say,
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.